There has been a growing trend over the last few decades among big retailers that has contributed significantly to margin expansion and stock price performance. Companies historically have been obsessed with maximizing quarterly profits. For retailers, this is translated into a race to open more and more points of sale. All of this to drive up profits and to improve the stock. But there are other, often more effective means of growing profitability than investment in top-line sales. Sales growth only has a marginal impact on profits, but a cost reduction goes directly to the bottom line. Take, for example, a billion-dollar retail operation with COGS of roughly $723 million, and after operating expenses, a net income of roughly $15 million. If we look at only 10% of their COGS, let's assume we're able to implement a strategy that would lower those costs by only 10%, or $7.23 million. That's a 1% reduction in total COGS, which would equate to a net income improvement of nearly 50%. Looked at another way, a 5% reduction in total COGS for this same company would have an equivalent dollar effect on the bottom line as a 13% increase in top-line revenue. Successful retailers have ongoing supply chain management initiatives that look to reduce the cost of goods sold. Many utilize strategic sourcing to actively seek lower-cost supply chain solutions for the products they sell. But there's another way, that well-known profit strategy that smart retailers have successfully been pursuing for decades, and that has led to improvements in gross margin, not to mention other benefits that have helped to build brand loyalty. Private label is the retail practice of selling products under a store's own brand. Private labels have been around for centuries, yet they historically have maintained a very small share of the overall market. In the US, private labels have outperformed national brands in all but one of the last 20 years, and today they represent over 20% of sales at the largest retailers in the world, contributing over $1 trillion in consumer product sales. A good portion of the growth seen in private label has been due to retail's incentive to promote its own store brands as a source of differentiation, and to offer the consumer a wider array of choice and to build customer loyalty. If a retailer is able to create a following in its private label, consumers must return to its stores in order to purchase the product. But equally, if not more important, is that private labels generate larger profit margins than what retailers traditionally earn on national brands. But here's the kicker. Remember that we explained how a reduction in costs has a direct impact on profitability and is a much more powerful tool than an equivalent increase in sales. Not only do private labels generate higher profit margins, but they also represent a reduction in costs for like items. So the benefits of higher margins and reduced costs are powerful. Retailers love private labels because they offer a source of differentiation and build customer loyalty. They offer consumers a broader choice. They generate higher profit margins than national brands, and they reduce costs as they're generally less expensive than the equivalent national brand. Many retailers have tried buying their private labels from large manufacturers that are selling competing national brands, and the experience is not always a positive one because the priority for most manufacturers is to support and build their brand equity, which can be at odds with the goals and objectives of the private label. Therefore, it is critical that retailers select independent professional specialists that have experience in managing private label programs in the products they cite. Certus has helped numerous companies build profitable private labels, from large retailers like Walmart to wholesale distributors and even national brand owners in a variety of hardlines, including hand tools and sporting goods equipment and accessories. We have the first-hand experience to manage the complexities of product development and handle the planning, positioning, selection, sourcing, and quality control required for any private label program. Building brand loyalty requires a consistent offer of quality, trend-right products at competitive prices, and the assortments must be relevant and correctly positioned to complement national brands. Contact Certus today so that we may help you achieve greater profitability, shorten your cycle times, and strengthen your brand loyalty. Don't wait.
Free created using Powtoon.